Alrighty, so we got our Chapter 7 projects here, so let's get right into them. So we'll start off with, decided to do the Quick Healthy Snack Ideas app, and it's the Wonders app. I don't remember what it's called now. Let me just open that. The new 7 Wonders of the World app. Alright, so let's jump over here. I've got a better setup now because I've got them both open, and I've already got my emulator up. So hopefully this one should go a little faster there. So it's actually the first one I made in here where it's not I've not actually used the graphical editor, and it's all just XML. But here is the grid view element, and then you've also got the image view element. This one's interesting in the fact that because of that, because usually I was just used to the graphical editor, so it's cool to see how all of it comes together with the XML layout. Anyways, these are the properties here for each of these controls. I believe most of these were specified, at least for the grid view, they were specified by the book. So it does have a layout height of 400 dp. 2 columns, horizontal and vertical spacing of 2 dp, and column widths of 150 dp. So it does meet the specifications there, and we've got all of our images added in over here. The book also walks through doing like a description text, description text for the image view, and I added that in over here. So just healthy snacks, as well as the name of the application for the control. Or the action bar, which is the healthy snack ideas. So then here is the main activity right here. So we start out and we declare an integer array called snacks, and it's going to hold the IDs here of all of the different snacks, and I believe it's IDs for those, but it references all 5 pictures of the snacks. And then we've also got a class variable here called pick, and it's an image view variable, or image view object. So what it does here, it'll reference the image view control on the layout. So we go down here in the onCreate method, we instantiate the grid view control, and we also instantiate the image view control right here. And then we add an image adapter to the grid. So right there we set an image adapter on it. And we pass it, for the context, we just pass this. So then down here we add a set on item click listener to the grid. And that actually inside of there, whenever the user clicks one of the items, which in this case are snack images in the grid view, it's going to it's going to set the image resource on the image view control for the larger image, and it's going to set that image equal to the image that they touch, so it'll display a larger version of that image down below the grid. And for this one, I don't believe, it didn't ask for a toast message, just wanted us to display it without anything extra there. So then also, to accomplish this, you have to create a custom image adapter class, and for that we've got a private variable here called class level variable called context, and it is a context object. So what we do here, this is the constructor for the image adapter class, and it's passed a context to it. Whenever you create an image adapter, you pass it a context, and then all this does is it sets this context variable here equal to that context that was passed. That way it can be accessed later. To get the count here of the items that should be in here, we just return the snacks.length right there, and then these textbook didn't really go over these 2 methods, so we didn't really need to do anything with these. Then when we get down here, the getView method, which is going to return a view here. What this does, it takes the position, convert view, and parent there, and those are all passed whenever this method's called by the grid control. I think that's, yeah. So what we've got here now, you've got the reference the image view, or well, we create a new image view here called and we use the context that was passed to this object when it's created, and we set the image resource equal to snacks snacks position. So that'll give us, basically that will get the associated image with this item here, and it'll display it. Let's see, stumbled all over the place with this one, but it will whatever the position that was passed to this function here, it will find that image and set the image resource on pick equal to that. Alright, and now we changed the scale type on pick here equal to the fit XY, and then we set the layout parameters. And what this does, this changes the height and width of the individual images in the grid view, and I had to play around with it a little bit, and 500 and 330 worked really well. And then now we return a reference to the new image view control there, so we return pick, and that should do it. I guess we can go ahead and run this one. I believe I already got it running, but should be good to go. Alright, so let's restart it though. That way we can see it before the image is shown. Or where is that hiding at from me? Somewhere in here. It is not going to show up for me. Let's go ahead and run it again then. I don't know where it's hiding at. I'll go ahead and pause the video. Here we go. Alright, so now we have our Healthy Snacks application here in action. So if we click on, say, this smoothie, I guess it is up here in the top left, it will display an image of the smoothie down below. I was a little bit worried about the bottom of the image being cut off there a little bit, but then I noticed that it looks the exact same way in the textbook. Just has to do with the fact that they wanted 400 dp for the height, so it makes it get rendered below the screen level a little bit. But their one looks exactly the same, like that. Like the bottom of this bowl here is kind of cut off there. But see, if we can click on each of these images, and they'll be displayed in the image view control down here as a larger image for easier viewing. So that wraps that one up. So let me go ahead and I guess we'll minimize that. And now I can close out of the Healthy Snacks project, and we'll go to the monuments. Alright, so I guess we can kind of go through it in the same order. So this is the layout for this, and these two applications are very similar. There were some minor differences between them. I guess notably was the properties here for the grid view and image view. Gotta think about what this was called just to see. So for our grid view, they specified that it has to have 4 images across each row, which translates into 4 columns. So I gave it 4 columns, and we've also got it says it wants 4 images across each row. Use a column width of 60 dp, so we have that here. And then it also wants a horizontal spacing and vertical spacing of 3 dp. And that's right here. So it's built to code there, pun intended. Yes, so that. But I got our image view here, and it has a description text and strings.xml. So just the 7 wonders. I'm just going to change that to, I think, monument. Picture of. A picture of a monument. That'll work. Should have changed that earlier. But then we've got, so that's the name of the that'll be displayed on the action bar, and then this is the description text for the large image control. Alright, so that pretty much wraps that one up there. So let's jump into the code here. Now, the code works pretty much the same. I was able to pretty much use the same code for it here. So what we've got an array, another integer array called wonders, and it's going to hold references to these different objects. Now, I want to say they're IDs, but I remember now, I guess so, but that right here, so we've got references here to 7 different objects, all 7 of the images here in the drawable folder, so wonder 1 through 7, and that way we can add them to the grid view control with the image adapter. Alright, so now we instantiate a grid view control, instantiate the image view control here. And we've also, I think we've got a class level variable again called pick, and I reuse some of the same names. So then we set a image adapter here on the grid, and that custom image adapter is defined here, and this is exactly the same as it was on the other the other project, except I changed the array name here to wonders, and the dimensions here for the layout parameters had to be changed. That way, because there were a different numbered arrangement of images, so I had to change that so they would look good. But then right here we set a on item click listener on the grid, and if the user touches one of these items here, one of the images of the 7 wonders of the world, it's going to set the image resource on pick equal to that particular image right here. And what it's also going to do, it's going to make a toast message here in main activity.this. It's going to just say monument number, just like the book had it there, and it's going to have the position there of the image +1, and that's going to tell us the monument number. Otherwise, it would just be monument 0 if you touch the first image. Ran into that for a little bit earlier. So that pretty much wraps up this one as well. So let's go ahead and just open our emulator here. Go ahead and run this. Probably shouldn't take more than a second or two. Oh, alrighty, so it looks like the 7 Wonders app finished loading up here. So we have 7 pictures here, and each one is for one of the 7 wonders of the world. And if I click on this first image here, it's going to load up a larger. It's going to display that image even larger there in the bottom center of the screen. And it's going to make a toast message, and it'll say monument, colon, and space. It'll have a number symbol, and then 1, which is just the derived by the position +1. So we'll click on that, and we can see that happen there. So monument number 1, monument number 2, monument number 3, monument number 4, monument number 5, monument number 6, and monument number 7. Oh. Alrighty, and that wraps up the Chapter 7 projects.